We're live.
Welcome, one and all, to a Wednesday edition of Violent Wrestling Podcast. Sorry we did not do our podcast last night. That's somebody's fault. I'm not going to name names, but it was mine, and I apologize for that. But as always, I have my cohort in crime, Ambrose Alley,
Hello, everyone.
and the third monkey in the group, Metal Matt.
Hello, Mr. Mox.
Oh, it's going to be that kind of episode. And the ball's just dragging along Adam Rice.
I don't know. That might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me, but I'm gonna have to go back and listen to previous episodes. Good
Well,
evening, everybody.
if you're the balls, you know what that makes me. So, welcome, one and all. How's everybody's week?
It's a thing.
That is the most Ohioan sigh ever. I live in Ohio.
Shoot me.
It's the reaction after every Browns game.
Sir, we won 7 games this season, I'll have you know.
And how many games were in the whole season? Exactly. That's what I thought.
Hey, technically,
I'm
they didn't
just
have a
plainly
losing
happy.
record, so
I hate everything.
speaking of which, I'm sober for once, and everybody else is in rare form, and I'm trying to not be sober as quick as possible. But we have a lot to discuss this week. We're going to talk the WWE Week in Review, do a Fastlane predictions thing, Rocky Mountain Pro news, losing a legend and another legend in his own right, or another star in his own right. We've got a lot to discuss tonight, which is why we typically break these weeks up into 2 shows. So we're going to dive into it real quick. First and foremost, before we get into anything wrestling related, um, I made a comment to some friends of mine in the daily on Cage Side Seats about my 9-year-old son and his girlfriend
Make sure the
having a.
link's in the daily.
I'm getting to it now, or trying
Okay.
to, or if somebody else wants to, while I'm trying to get as drunk as possible to get through this. But um, there was a spat between them, and I was asked to, since apparently I have sources and stuff in the industry and whatnot. I was asked to,
You're like the anti-Dave Meltzer.
No, Mox might actually have sources.
I was gonna say I'm like
That's
actually a
what I
good
mean.
Dave Meltzer. Yeah, I'm a good Dave Meltzer. Um, but anyway, so what happened between Morris and his girlfriend? And keep in mind, we're talking about 9-year-olds, even though next week Morris turns 10. Woohoo, double digits. Um, they have physical therapy together, and um, his girlfriend Emma was she has to take hyperactive medicine, and she didn't take it before physical therapy, and started basically aggravating Morris. And so my son just told her, Emma, you need to be on, either be on medication or you need to take your medicine or something. And poor Emma did not take that well and started crying. And yeah, they had a bit of a fiasco there,
Spat.
but yeah.
The
And there,
term you're looking for, sir, is lover's quarrel.
well, I'm trying not to get that in depth with my 9-year-old son and his girlfriend. But apparently there was a monetary settlement or something.
That
My
you had to pay
sources,
for.
my sources will not, due to a non-disclosure agreement that's sealed, but they have reconciled. Apologies have been made. Hugs have been had. Unfortunately, well, I'm going to go and say it. Unfortunately for me, um, they have made up, and I'm probably going to have to pay for it in some way, shape, form, date, movies, whatever they do. But yeah, he basically told his girlfriend, "You need to be on medication," and she did not take it well, which I don't think even 9, 19, 29, 39, when you tell your girlfriend they should be on medication, that's not going to fly very well.
They make up, and you have to pay for it.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
That's the
It's not
joys of
giving me
being a
the
father.
Joys.
one of the many. Yeah, you misworded something there. It's not letting me get to the YouTube link so I can post it in the daily if somebody else can. I keep opening it and it keeps telling me there's an error. So I don't know if that's on my end or anyway. Um, so yeah, and that was for underscore, who's also known as BA Buried Alive. I call him underscore now since he changed his name and has to use an underscore. And a couple of other people that were wondering what happened. So if you've ever been in a relationship or plan on being in a relationship, do not tell the person you're going out with they should be on medication. That's just like a not wise.
You get the coming to Jesus talk.
Yeah, you get, and she flat out told her mom because they ride together to and from school. She wouldn't even get out of the car. Had to tell her mom all about it before she'd get out of the car. Like her feelings were hurt, and so Morse talk,
Morris
and
is
he
lucky
still,
to be alive.
yeah, true, true. And I'm still paying for a wedding apparently. So yeah, that it, interesting. Really not, but I just like of all things because I heard about him making her cry earlier in the day. Like, what could he possibly have done? Um, Telling her to take medication was not on my guest list.
Kids have a way
So
of surprising us. And on
anyway,
that note,
so that
should we let's get to it, right?
yeah, that's resolved. Um, I guess let's get the sad news out of the way. Um, we've lost a king. We've lost King Kong Bundy.
He was 61 years old. We
61, which is weird as crap when you think about it, because at WrestleMania 3, that would have made him 29.
That dude's looked 50 his entire life.
Seriously, like he looked old back then. Um,
Dude was around a minute. Still too young, but
did anybody get a chance to see him live? I had twice. Once I remember quite quite vividly.
no, he was his second stint in the WWF came and went before I really even was paying attention to the business.
Well, yeah, you're a little younger. I know Matt's way younger.
Yeah.
Uh, AA, did you ever get to see King Kong Bundy live?
No.
Um, the like I said, I got to see him twice. Once I remember other things on the card. Both times were at Gillies in Pasadena, Texas. Um, but I know more about that from my middle brother telling me about it. But the second time I saw him, this dude, you could not have given a better name to his side, King Kong Bundy. This dude was huge and scared the bejesus out of me. Like he was just like intimidating. I was probably '88 or so. This was around '87, something like that. And he didn't wrestle. I think he came in like after the match or anything, but we were ringside and he came by and he was just ominous, just his presence. Just huge.
That's, we always want to do a little bit of a retrospective whenever this happens, because a lot of these guys we see in WWF, especially from that era, had careers before that. And so I want to kind of
Absolutely.
start there. He worked as a job guy in the WWF back in the early 80s under variations of his name. His real name was Chris Parseus. I'm
I
sorry, I'm
want to say
butchering his
persist.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he worked as a job guy up in WWF as Chris Canyon or Chris Cannon, variations of that. Afterwards, he got his big break working in what we would know as WCCW.
Yes.
He worked down there for Fritz Von Erich in the Dallas office.
And that'd be about the time I saw him.
And they thought so much of this guy that very soon into his tenure down there with Fritz, he had Fritz Von Erich's retirement match in 1982. This was the guy they picked for Fritz to have his last, official match as a wrestler. I'm sure he wrestled again after that, but this was billed as his retirement match.
Right.
And it was at Texas Stadium in front of 6,800 people. They brought in Harley Race. They tried to make a big deal out of it. And this was the guy they decided, we want you to have this honor. And for a young guy, this was back when Bundy still had hair.
He had
Yes.
hair.
He had hair.
Yes.
And it looks
And
like a toupee.
it really did. Like it honestly looked like it was super glued onto his head. Like it.
So he, had the match with Fritz. He was always but still, he was always a mid-card guy in Texas. Even though he didn't really have any other noticeable run with the Von Erichs. To have the match with Fritz, did some tag work down there. I'm sure he was heavyweight champion too at one point, but he was kind of a territory guy. Left Texas, spent time in Memphis as a member of Jimmy Hart's first family in Memphis, the Memphis version. And
Yes.
he worked with Lawler and did all Dundee, all of the guys you'd imagine he worked with. And then he got his break, big break, He went back to the WWF, and he went back because they needed people to run with Hogan.
Right.
And that brings us to the WrestleMania 2 match in the steel cage. Bundy and Hogan. And you know what? That was probably the most vulnerable Hogan ever looked as champion.
Yeah. Especially. Yeah. Obviously. Like not maybe overall, but up until that point, definitely. Like he was the most vulnerable
I
against
mean,
Bundy at 2.
this was before, obviously, 3 with Andre and all that. But I think in terms of a build, there was never you never thought Hogan was going to lose, really. But Bundy made you consider it. And, and that stuff he was doing, the 5. Everyone remembers the 5 count. I want 5, count 5.
Yes. Yes.
That was something he was doing his entire career. That was not one this WWF thing. That was a Bundy thing. And, he had the match with Hogan. He obviously didn't win. He teamed he had that run as a tag team against the Giant. It was Andre and Mulligan under a mask. I forget their names, but he did that thing with them. He was involved in the trade. He went from Did he get traded from Hart's family to the first family? No, to the Heenan family? Or who?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to say the Heenan family.
Got traded to the Heenan family for two pieces. I think it was Adonis and um, shit. I just read this. I want to say Morocco, but I know that's wrong.
Again, we're just proud that you're learning to read and stuff, dude. We're just
I hate you. Um, even after I give you all those gifts online. Um, it then he kind of faded out after he was out of the WWF before 90 hit, right?
before when you broke up
Before
on me there for a second.
1990.
Um, I believe so. Around that time.
Because he had the high point with Hogan. He did the midget match
Oh God. Oh God. Yes.
against the Little Beaver, and I can't make these names up, people.
This literally happened for our younger audience. This happened.
Bundy wrestled. It wasn't just midgets. He had two midget partners, and there were two midgets on the other side, and I'm forgetting who the other guy was. It was a 6-man or 3/4 man, however you do the midget math. But
So Little Beaver, he wrestled with Little Beaver.
yes.
Oh God! Please
I
don't, Matt.
had
Please
no
don't, Matt.
idea Kevin Dunn was a wrestler.
Oh, thank God. I didn't think that's where he was going with that.
Neither did I.
He
Um,
surprised
Had to
you.
do it.
no, it wasn't done, but I would have paid to see it. Um, he wrestled Andre. They did the Colossal Jostle. That was the name of the event. I can't. This is Vince McMahon's marketing machine, people. It was the Colossal Jostle in Madison Square Garden. Him versus Andre. And he lost due to disqualification because Big John Studd came out and got involved. Then
Uh, to to go
was
right
that
back real quick, he was traded to the Heenan family for Adrian Adonis and the missing link.
the missing link? I'm an idiot. He kind of disappears. I know he did an event for ECW. Goes back to the WWF, as I said, in the mid '90s. They kind of built him up for the Royal Rumble, but then Mabel came out and eliminated him in 3 minutes. He only had 3 minutes in the match.
Yes, and this
Um,
is
And he ended up
because I
having
want to.
he had a WrestleMania match with The Undertaker. And I want to say WrestleMania 11, I think.
Taker wrestled Bundy.
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
Yep, where he yeah, Taker defeated Bundy at
King Kong
11.
Bundy was part of the $1 Million Corporation.
Yeah, this
That's
was
right.
And honestly, the match was just as forgettable.
well, yeah.
By God, by
Um,
that time.
and
But I
Bundy
mean,
held him.
the thing with King Kong Bundy is that he was kind of before my time. Like he was more so like the NAD's guy, so I didn't really get to see much of him. But from what I did see of him, he was always a pretty good big guy wrestler, and obviously he'll be very much missed.
Yeah,
That was the Lawrence Taylor show. Okay.
he was he was definitely an attraction. He was something special. Again, I'm not just seeing him live twice, but just on. And he left the WWF in '88, and then came
Okay.
back in '94.
Like his run in WWF wasn't that long.
No,
He was there 3 years. He did the run with Hogan, did some other things, and was gone. Basically, they used them and they passed them off. But the guy was built at 6'4", 458.
had the shortest match in WrestleMania history.
Until
Uh, Sir,
okay, I know he had the shortest match in WrestleMania history, uh, 9 seconds, which actually ended up being. Someone said it was actually a legit 17 seconds, but they built it at 9.
yeah,
Yeah, as someone that's seen the first WrestleMania, I absolutely agree that is complete BS. It
yes,
was so much longer than
uh,
9 seconds.
it was just a marketing thing.
And then,
Right.
but it stood as the record until Kane beat Chavo Guerrero
A legitimate 8 seconds.
in a legitimate 8 seconds. Ding,
At
boom.
WrestleMania 24. And then that record got broken by The Rock versus Eric Rowan.
Oh. And Eric Rowan has never
Who's
recovered.
intellectual now, Rowan?
But as somebody that grew up watching and loving not just WWF runs, but in like Adam was saying with his Texas runs, um, and to sound repetitive as possible, seeing him twice, but we got him a lot on TV. Outside of WWF, just because affiliates and stuff at the time would play a lot of the Von Erich stuff. Um, if you guys don't remember, I'm from Texas, so getting to see him that much, and like he's one of those guys when people say, who scared you as a kid? Like he's one of those guys that effing scared me as a kid.
And it wasn't like it was a gimmick. It was because he was a
No,
big guy and he
yes,
carried himself as I'm larger than life.
yes. There's a difference in like Undertaker's debut at Survivor Series and scaring the shit out of kids, which it didn't scare me. Like I instantly love Taker, but I can see where kids. For one, I was older when Taker debuted, but a little older. He debuted '90 Survivor
Yeah.
Series. Anyway, but King Kong Bundy scared the shit out of me. But like you say, it wasn't his gimmick. It was just him. Like holy, nope, nope.
And the other thing I appreciate about Bundy, when you take the biggest picture of his career, was that he carried himself, protected himself as an attraction.
Yes,
He wasn't in world class long. He wasn't in Memphis long. He wasn't in WWF long. He was an attraction, and that's how he was hired and booked and let out.
and one of the best things is King Kong Bundy being on Married with
Married with
Children.
children.
Yes.
Didn't he? Wasn't he the Bundy family named after him?
Yes.
Yes.
They named
Did you miss me, honey? With every bullet so far.
um, they named the family on the show after King Kong Bundy, and then they brought him onto the show as Peg's brother.
Yeah, I was about to say, whoa, no, you have that
No,
backwards.
no, sir. Um,
Peg
so-
is his sister. Yeah,
yes.
you wouldn't dare call King Kong Bundy somebody's sister.
Not while he's alive. Was alive, obviously.
Shit, even and rest in peace. Even in death, I wouldn't dare.
Oh,
Like,
that's true.
like you never know.
It's and he did some other acting outside of that, but he basically, did the independence for the rest of his career.
Yeah,
Did stand up, did a little bit of independent work. Um, didn't get into the Hall of Fame, but you know what? I I follow a guy who they used to have their own professional wrestling television show. It wasn't wrestling, but it was a kind of like what we do. Um, when this was on the air earlier in the later on in the last decade, um, out of Milwaukee, and they became close with Bundy, and Bundy's pretty much said, you know, they inducted him into their Hall of Fame up there, and he said, "This is really all I want." He eschewed the WWE Hall of Fame while he was alive. It was never something I think he wanted to do, but I mean, it is sad he didn't get the induction. But it was something that was by of his choosing,
Right.
uh, and he said as much. So I mean, obviously, I'd like to see him the tribute and everything, but you, just keep that in mind when we talk about Bundy and where he stands in the Hall of Fame and all that stuff.
And see, I guess this will be a topic. Um, if we're gonna, I don't know where we're going here. Hello, no tracks. Um, but the announcements of Honky Tonk Man, Tori Wilson, and supposedly Brutus Beefcake being Hall of Famers this year with DX, and a lot of people are giving Brutus grief. You know, he's taking over the Coco Beware or Hillbilly Jim. Like, you just see, and I don't mean this in a rude way, you just see some people that didn't grow up in the time or have taken the time to look back on careers, because Brutus deserves to be there, Coco deserves to be there, Hillbilly Jim deserves to be there.
Brother Broody.
Oh God. The thing with Beefcake is, and if he does get inducted, we'll obviously touch on it then. But the thing with the rumor of Beefcake is that he will never be able to escape the fact that his best friend was Hulk Hogan, and a lot of people attribute his career to Hogan.
Well,
And
true.
and I'm not going to sit here and argue about where Beefcake slots. I mean, people remember Beefcake, they do, and so I mean, if he had a positive impact in terms of entertaining people, is that so wrong for him to go into the Hall of Fame? People have to understand this is not the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Right, and I was going to bring up that same point. This isn't a true blue Hall of Fame where stats and stuff matters, and like in my opinion, Harold Baines does deserve the Hall of Fame nod. But I can see where other people, have a differing opinion on. But this is just it's the WWE Hall of Fame, and to some degree, it is Vince just picking people.
And I'm
It's
not going
not
to.
a Hall of Fame.
Oh, good grief!
If I had the power to mute you, I would do it.
A- AA has the power. At least mute his chair.
It
Yeah, I think Paul Orndorff put it best. Got good dinner, good travel, good payday, and I got a $25 plaque that I left in the hotel room.
Oh wow!
that was actually a thing he said.
I know,
Yeah.
but Matt doing it is just. I need more beer. I started this episode sober. I'm not gonna end it sober. I can already tell you.
It and some people were talking about Tori. And look, I'm not going to sit here. And say I'm a fan of Tori Wilson going into the Hall of Fame. I think her impact on the business is minimal at best, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and honestly, as someone who is more or less watching Tori Wilson's career as part of the Rules of Regression Era podcast, I would have to agree with Adam. I mean, there have been certain segments that I may have enjoyed more than others.
He's talking about the
Oh,
oh,
oh, oh! What a way to. That's perfect. What
and in
nice.
case if anybody's wondering, he's talking about the Don Marie stuff.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah, that look, and that's kind of the
Yeah,
point.
I mean that Tori, Dawn Marie, Al Wilson storyline.
You didn't have
If
to
that's
bring
not
up.
whole thing worthy, I don't know what is. All right.
That Al, we
I
didn't have to. You didn't have to bring up that Al Wilson part. You could have left it at the best part. Just,
yes. I had a
And
review on.
Funaki interviewing Al Wilson. Let's take a look. What was your reaction to that?
oh
Well,
god, it hurts.
One of the many times I regretted Matt asking me to be a guest on his podcast, Ruthless Aggression Era podcast, Fridays, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Shameless plug. That I had to review the blow off for that um,
Oh
angle.
it wasn't quite the blow off for that. Or, well,
Well,
at least
no,
not on the actual program anyway.
no, stop, please. No more double
since
entendre. I can't
I
take
have
it.
two beer open at the same time. Like,
But we're laughing about it, but it's kind of the point. I can't sit here
well,
and think of a Tori Wilson match I ever enjoyed. But
Yeah, and
right,
so like watching
but
her whole career, she wrestled more matches than I thought she did.
oh,
None of them were really that good. I
oh yeah, they
mean,
they threw
there
her.
were moments where you can tell that she was at least trying,
I mean,
but
they
I don't know. Like she was okay, especially for the time, but she's also representative of that time where WWE did not take their women seriously.
well,
And
her
she was
two
she
Playboy
was arguably
photo
like a
shoots were more
poster
than okay,
for
but
that.
that's just me.
oh boy howdy. My buddy showed me
Hey,
those. He broke into his dad's stash and he showed me those, and
dude,
I
I
was
bought
impressed.
those. She was she was in Playboy twice, once with Sable and then once solo. I may still have those.
Framed. Um,
Well,
th-
AA, what are your thoughts on? Shut up. Well, we never. I always feel like we never give AA a chance to talk, especially when we start talking about this kind of shit.
No, go ahead.
What are
I'm
your
enjoying myself.
well, obviously, you said you hadn't seen him, in person, but um, you know who King Kong Bundy is, and we'll go ahead and tie that into. Well, no, we won't tie that into Tori Wilson. um, um, what were your thoughts coming up and seeing King Kong Bundy on WWF programming
Well, I didn't get into
and
WWF until
go ahead.
after he left. So I really don't know a lot about King Kong Bundy.
Oh, I keep forgetting that, and I do that, and I apologize. I forget that, and I even know who got you into it and stuff, and I always forget. I just
but like I
um
said, that was kind of Bundy's mystique. He was somewhere, he stayed for a little bit, and he was gone.
yeah.
Uh,
What do you think about Tori Wilson going into the Hall of Fame?
Um, I was never really impressed with Tori.
You obviously haven't seen her play boys.
Not my cup of tea.
or a certain segment with Don Marie.
Oh Jesus, dude! You need to stop bringing it up. I'm getting hot flashes.
I mean,
Um,
if you need to leave for a bit, we understand.
but like I said, and all kidding aside, that was Tori's appeal, and it was never in
Yes,
ring. It was the idea of her just being one of the hottest women walking the planet.
and
And
I brought this up to you the other day. I want to say, I guess in the Daily. Like, so shouldn't she be inducted in the TNA Hall of Fame?
womp womp.
Womp womp.
You should feel bad. Um,
I do.
and let me just say this real quick while we're on the subject. You, and when Stacy Keebler eventually goes in, because she is,
Well, yeah.
we're gonna have the same discussion. I can't blame a company for wanting to put in people who are indicative of the era they were in. Tori Wilson and Stacy Keebler are two of the foremost names of that diva era. And I'm saying that even over Trish Stratus because Trish eventually she became her
She
own
evolved.
thing. She evolved and
Okay.
became the wrestler that she was. Same for Lita and Molly Holly and Ivory and Victoria. They were almost their own thing. Were they
Molly
thrown in?
Holly is. Anytime she gets brought up, I will say Molly Holly is so underrated, so
She is.
underappreciated.
And it's
Sorry.
not. No, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And because Molly wouldn't participate in some of that stuff, is why she doesn't get a lot of the shouts that she should. And a lot of those female wrestlers who were there trying to be wrestlers, they did get thrown into that diva stuff, but it was because it was either that or not be on TV
Or magazines of a
or
certain kind.
magazines or you guys remember the calendar shoots they do every few months when they were on so.
Or segments in hotels with Don Marie.
Oh dear God, man,
He's
that's
on a roll.
that's still on my mind. Um,
Sir,
but
seriously, like if you need to take
cold shower.
15,
Um,
like,
but that
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, we've in a brief moment of time, like dissected, you know, Tori Wilson, in ring, outside the ring, kind of. Um, you know her name, you remember her name. Like
right.
it's there's
When I
like
say to you 2007 WWE SmackDown, is she not one of the first people you kind of picture?
yeah, and that's kind of the
And that's the
how the
point.
WWE exactly that's how the WWE Hall of Fame works. Like
I mean, if
it's
you can't close your eyes and picture somebody, then I can
oh
argue maybe not someone going in. But
when
I
I
mean,
close my eyes
you
and
used a
picture
pretty good
her, you know,
example.
damn it.
you stepped all over Matt's joke. It was about the Browns. Um,
No, I wasn't saying anything about the Browns.
yet. Um, and you know what? You can apply that standard to Beefcake. Beefcake is a character of that time.
Yes,
So, I mean, it's well within the WWE's right, A, to put in whoever they want, and B, at least these are people you can go, yeah, I remember them, but well, yeah, that's the point. You remember them. They made an
Sir,
impact,
you may have been at Star K94. Thank you very much.
and nobody wants to remember that.
seriously, can we mute him?
And
um,
so
but
we can
yeah,
move
it's
on.
about yeah. Let's because this will be 12 o'clock my time before it's done. Um, Another passing, same day as King Kong Bundy, which ties into wrestling for a couple reasons. Luke Perry passed away at 52.
Yes.
Um,
2 years younger than me.
all that. Excuse me. Got a crick in my throat or something.
Yeah,
Um,
we all heard it.
not only did he appear on was it Nitro?
No, he appeared for WWF.
Yeah, WWF. Yeah, during the yeah, okay. But his son is Jungle Boy, who is a current wrestler.
I think he's even signed to AEW.
Yes.
Yes. So that uh, as far as the wrestling, we lost four people in one day: King Kong Bundy, Luke Perry, um, Flint, the lead singer for Prodigy, and Stefan, the bass player for Survivor, all in one day.
So I vote we start 2019 the fuck over.
Yeah. And also related to the sad news, Alex Trebek, who once has been a host of Raw, announced today he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And first and foremost, hashtag fuck cancer.
Yeah, this is. That's just one of those things. Like you hear that because the guy's been on TV all my life, so you're accustomed to seeing somebody, and then to hear that they have paid for stage 4 pancreatic cancer, it's sucks. All cancer sucks.
Yes.
But this hurt, sucks to see, and I hope he beats it. I know the odds are long, but every fight is different. You hear that? You unintellectual monsters talking about Roman and his cancer. All battles are different.
Yes.
Speaking of,
Uh, uh,
this is
yes.
related to this in a way. Um, Superstar Billy Graham. The next time you open your mouth about something you obviously don't know the first thing of the fuck about, please make sure it's the last time.
I wasn't even going to acknowledge that. But speaking of cancer, Harley Race, apparently his Ric Flair, said it was terminal,
It's not,
but
thank
it's
God.
it's it's not terminal, so but it's still nothing to
Sneeze
anybody
at.
want to deal with. Yeah.
He's had a
So
rough couple years. And so to hear this cancer diagnosis on the top of I wish him the best, but I will say this cancer picked the wrong person to fuck with.
oh yeah.
You don't fuck with Harley Race.
Um, I would shout out real quick to Ric Flair for because a lot of people wouldn't since he's the one that's uh, I guess kind of broke the news of the terminal, and then he flat out said, I apologize, I was wrong. It's not terminal." Like you don't see that a lot. Like either people double down or they don't say anything else at all, and he
Well, yeah, but
owned up to
Rick
being
also
misinformed.
has. Yeah, you're right. It's nice that he kind of backtracked because Rick has a issue with speaking out of turn.
Yes.
So,
You know
oh
what we need to do?
no,
What?
Oh
We are
my
putting a $25,000 bounty on cancer.
thank you, Harley Race. You watch?
Anybody who is within the sound of my voice anybody that can get rid of cancer, you will win $25,000. It's all yours if you take out cancer.
You watch that promo too, huh?
Yes.
You do know you're
And then
replacing
Triple H
Ric
paid
Flair with the word
34 years
cancer.
later.
Right? Like, which
Well,
I'm
well.
not gonna say anything.
Let's get to some happy news if we can find any.
Um,
Uh,
There's some happy news in
well,
RMP.
yes,
They got a new champion. The one,
just happens to
the
yes.
only, the ass kicker. The one who goes around breaking necks.
dear God.
The Annihilator.
Anaya. How was that?
Um, I'm gonna do this real quick. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Okay, I'll knock that shit off real quick. But yes, Anaya is your new Rocky Mountain Pro champion,
Thank
and
good.
I know um, some of our viewers don't watch, but always check them out Thursdays, Twitch and Fight TV. Fun show, good show. AA's, I guess you'd call it local promotion. Um, but yeah, I couldn't watch it live, but I watched it back. I couldn't believe they put the title on. I told you two at a time, dude. Like I'm trying to get on y'all's level of
Mm.
craziness. But yeah, they put the title on Anaya. Couldn't be
And
happier.
this Saturday they will be putting on a show at the Pepsi Center.
That's pretty big.
What it is, it's the the lacrosse team is putting on a game, and it's a charity function, and they've
Yes,
got Rocky Mountain Pro that's going to be putting on a show right after the lacrosse game, and I
The
will
hell
be
yeah.
there.
Hell yeah.
and this is what makes Rocky Mountain Pro so cool. Like if they weren't already, we're in March. Like March just started. This is their third charity event they've done just this year. As it might be more, but as far as I know, this is their third
It's their
charity
third.
event. Uh, Mercury, Matt Yaden, everybody that contributes to Rocky Mountain Pro, my hat is off to you guys for what you're doing. They not just the charity events. They've done the first ever women's wrestling in the state of Colorado event this year. They've done like they're really doing great stuff. Not just the wrestling is great, but what they're trying to initiate and what they're trying to accomplish in the wrestling world and what they're doing for um, people struggling or people going through stuff. They're always open to be there to lending hand, help, however you want to word it. It just it's such a if you're a Rocky Mountain Pro fan, you're family. If that makes sense, like they
Makes sense to me.
So that's what's
I will
happening in
say
Rocky Mountain Pro, and I will report back from what happens on Saturday, unless
nice.
something major happens like weather.
I was gonna say like hopefully the weather minds
Cooperates.
its own business or
Yeah. And since we were on RMP, we will go to another indie that recently made some news that reverberated across the wrestling world. And for that, Metal Matt, can you please give us a little update on MLW?
Well, MOW had their latest big event happen this past Saturday, which was Intimidation Games. It was actually a really good show. The two matches that happened were Team AAA versus the Lucha Brothers, and a great match. Oh, before I even go any further, apparently,
Before I even get started,
whoa, 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 before you get started, I have something to say.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, apparently there is a new member of the MLW broadcast team, and his name is James E. Cornette.
I'm not familiar with him.
Better known now by his real name. Well, I guess it was always his real name. Jim Cornette.
Not familiar with him.
All right, I knew it. Ass.
Which is an interesting addition to the MLW team. Apparently, he's also working as an agent there as well.
Which is really the bigger news.
I think, yeah, I would say so as well.
I have yet to hear his explanation on his show. I was going to listen to that. But this news, doesn't shock me that they brought someone into the broadcast team because it's coming up on baseball season, and I know Tony Schiavone has obligations during this time of year. I think
But
he
we're,
still calls Alabama Crimson Tide baseball games.
but that doesn't make sense because doesn't Jim Cornette wouldn't he be calling tennis because we're in tennis season too?
Oh God, are you
Like
proud
I
of yourself? Are you proud of
not
yourself?
not really no.
Okay, keep drinking. You'll get there.
Yeah. For those that don't get the references, Jim Cornette in tennis racket. Um, but yeah, I was
It's not a
surprised as anybody. Like,
Yeah, I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked that they brought him in as the broadcaster because he is a pretty good commentator.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's that they brought him as his agent.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and question Jim Cornette's wrestling mind. I'm not going to do it. You can't pay me to do it
Yeah.
because he'll hurt me verbally, and I'm not ready for it.
Yes.
Um, but
Somehow,
this,
some way, it'll get back to him that you said this, and I have enough stress in my life. I don't need corny going off on me.
right? But this is a guy who he's really one of the smartest guys I've ever heard talk about wrestling. But he has a particular vision.
Yes. Like I was gonna try to.
He views wrestling in a way that rubs some people the wrong way. I mean, that also goes with his well-known personality. I mean, if he's going to call you a motherfucking cocksucker, he's going to do it. He ain't going to mix words. Um, so so it's odd because this is also MLW is also a company that remember just a month or so ago ran an angle where a dude got stabbed.
Like legit.
That's not realistic. And Jim will has some leeway when it comes to his particular vision of wrestling, but a dude getting stabbed, I don't think qualifies. So how is that going to mesh? Um, but I will say this: MLW. It was a sold out show, right, Matt?
Yes, yes, it was.
22 some odd 100 people.
Yeah, I believe so. It was in, trying to remember, it was in Chicago, I believe it
It
was.
was.
Yes.
So here's
In
so
fact,
let
they sold out and even opened up. I want to say 200 more seats and sold those out. You know,
Yep.
just at
so
this. Go ahead.
here's a company, an independent company going to into Ring of Honor's backyard and selling out a show of 2,200 people.
Hey, that's what they get for taking Roosh from us.
See, and I wanted to touch on this, and if we just keep rabbit trailing, but like, could you imagine, like,
Oh no,
He lost his train of thought.
I
thing
think
and everything?
It's
Mo-
easy if you try.
Mox,
Well,
you dropped out completely there.
I don't think anybody got that reference.
Mox,
yes, sir.
you dropped out completely there for a minute. Restate your thought.
Ring of Honor signing Roosh, where we could have had Roosh versus Lapark again, and Ring of Honor has to
Yeah.
go and ruin everything.
But this is kind of a big deal. So this Cornet news at the very least makes me want to go back and pay another look to MLW because
You should have been doing that the entire time.
I'm an idiot.
Well, we know that. You're a Browns fan.
So
You're
cut me
from
some
Ohio.
slack.
Okay. It's seriously like, and we're not saying it's like kissing ass, but like Rocky Mountain Pro, readily available. MLW, readily available. Guys, watch it. Like, give it a chance. Like,
So I'm interested in this hooked me a little bit, and I do like how they kind of try to make themselves seem like a legitimate company. If Ronda Rousey tried to do the bullshit she's doing now in MLW, they'd probably fire her ass. But that's another story for later on tonight.
which any good company would fire Ronda Rousey, but that's just
Also,
personal
kind of the
opinion.
point.
Yeah.
So, what's coming up next for MLW, Matt?
And then the main event of that show was Filthy Tom Lawler versus Loki for the world title inside a steel cage, and they got much more time than they did last time. It was a great match.
Thank God.
And I also love that
Ooh.
Selena De La Renta was
Waiting
our
for it.
ringside.
Um,
So Filthy Tom Lawler ends up winning the match, but gets attacked by Contra, which was a new stable consisting of Simon Gotch and a couple other guys. Let me take a look.
I mean, as soon as you said Simon Gotch, like half our audience just fell asleep.
yeah,
What?
exactly.
Exactly.
It got heat though.
Oh, it got a lot of fucking heat.
People
Like
were
it went WCW Hogan being the third man kind of heat.
Yeah,
Like
they even
like
throw trash in the ring. And Contra consists of Simon Gotch, Jacob Fatu, and Josef Salim.
um I heard Fatu.
Yeah,
How is he related?
I believe he's Tonga Kid's son, I believe.
These damn Samoans, man.
And never hit a Samoan in the head.
Don't hit a Samoan ever.
Yeah,
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 just
he's the son of the Tonga Kid.
And that's Rikishi's brother, right?
yes.
Okay. Gotta
Yeah,
keep them all
just
straight.
kids, like, do drugs if you want. Don't fuck with Samoans. Like,
Don't.
just don't. Just yeah, just don't.
And don't do drugs.
Really, don't
No.
do drugs, but don't hit a Samoan. One is
Yeah.
actually one is actually detrimental to your health.
Right.
And Jacob Fatu even splashed Lawler from the very top of the cage.
Awesome.
It was an amazing visual.
Well, so is Tori Wilson's play. Sorry. Um.
Sorry.
And there was that hotel segment with Don Murray, but
Oh God.
You know, you bring we kid about the Samoans. We're not really kidding. Um, but I always remember there was a match Dakota Kai worked. I forget where she was working, and somebody it may have been down on the Coconut Loop, and I forget who she was working with, and she headbutted Dakota, and Dakota no sold it and actually yelled, "I'm Samoan. What are you doing?" I laughed. I thought it was funny.
It is funny, but my mind went to
I know where your mind
what?
went.
Well, yeah, that was first, but my second thought was, why are people putting Dakota Kai in a Japanese stable, Asian stable, like in their fantasy booking shit? Like, what the fuck?
Because
That's
some
a whole different. We'll never end if we keep rabbit trailing.
because some maps are sold without New Zealand on them, so people get confused.
I, um,
And that's a shoot, by the way.
well,
Okay, guys, we have to get
and
to the.
We have
and
to get to
so
WWE.
well, MLW
that
has two big events coming up.
Oh,
One is Rise of the Renegades on April 4th at the Melrose Ballroom in NYC, New York, and a huge main event is booked for that match for that show, and I mean a huge match because for the world title, it's going to be a New York City street fight between Filthy Tom Lawler versus Jimmy Havoc.
someone's gonna bleed.
oh yeah,
Who's going to draw first blood?
Jimmy Havoc's gonna stab a guy
again.
And
again.
also MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh, that'll be fun.
As long as
Although,
Brian Pillman Jr. wins.
right, he's winning. MJF isn't going over. He's signed with AEW.
And also Battle Riots, we have some people that are going to be in Battle Riot. MJF is going to be one of them. Davey Boy Smith Jr., Pentagon Jr., and Minoru Tanaka from Pro Wrestling Noah will be in it,
All right.
as well as Ace Romero.
Boo.
Yes.
So those will be
Yay.
MLW's next two big shows, and those will be pretty fun shows, I think.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they start trying to, go to another city, because it seems like they work a pretty consistent major city loop between Miami and Chicago, Philadelphia, New York. So I'd like to see if they maybe walk out on a limb, see what happens. But that's just
I,
me.
I don't know if they want to go to Brown Stadium, though.
Uh,
Well, since it's already been said twice, let's get to the bad three-letter word.
RAW or
Well, I was
WWE.
pick your poison, but I was going with the
I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at a bottle of cyanide as I speak.
sir. Like, I know you don't like your brother and everything, but that's not the answer. Like,
Oh no, it's for me. I bought it especially for me.
oh, well,
um,
well
where
then
to?
that's fine. Like
Yeah,
that's
right. Where to begin? You know what?
uh,
Do you guys? I hate to call it audible, as we're about ready to get into this. But do you want to combine two topics into one? Let's review. Let's do our Fastlane preview and talk about the what's been going on as we talk about the matches. Kill two birds with one stone.
Hey, that
And
works for me.
calling audibles and talking about WWE sounds like Adam's on the WWE payroll. Like that's basically what they do.
Oh God, please! If I wish, could you imagine if I was getting paid to write that shit?
Again, we're just
I
proud
might,
you can
I
read and write and have a
might
job that you
withdraw
get
then.
paid for.
Well, okay. Let's see. Fastlane 2019.
Speed bump on the road to WrestleMania.
Yep. Hails from the Quicken Loans Arena in the greatest city God ever created, Cleveland, Ohio. Waiting for
Sir,
it.
sir.
Look, I had to do it. Uh, in the biggest event that's come to the Quicken Loans Arena since LeBron James left. All right. Um, no one's going to argue with me there. This is an 8-match card with one pre-show match. The pre-show match is Andrade with Zelina Vega taking on once again Rey Mysterio.
Can we
How many
This
times have
should
we
not be
seen
on the
this
pre-show.
match?
it's Selena Vega who
Yes.
just happens to accompany Andrade versus Rey Mysterio. Like, sorry.
Yeah, you keep on putting that disclaimer in there. Um, this is what the sixth time we're getting these two in some form and fashion on TV.
From what I've heard, something like that.
This week on SmackDown, they were involved in what was it, a four-way,
Yeah, it was a
five-way?
fatal four-way: Samoa Joe, R-Truth, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio for the United States title.
And here I am just waiting for my one-on-one with
Tori
oh,
Wilson.
sorry. Sir. Sir.
Yeah, you'd be waiting. Uh,
I
they've
mean,
given
I go ahead.
they've they've given us this match way too many times.
I think so.
I mean, they're great. They're great in ring,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
sure they'll have a killer match. But they were mixed into the U.S. title scene for some reason, and then they weren't. Then they are. There was the rumor they were going to be a tag team. My head hurts already.
Well, that's Ohio for you.
It's more than that.
And this might be where the tag, like, hey, we fought. Let's not try to. But anyway, the best out of 7 series with Sheamus and Cesaro. Like, hey, we fought each other enough. Let's not respect. Why don't we respect each other and tag?
I hope it doesn't go there because that's so played out.
Yep.
But that's what this company does. And by the way, from that title match on SmackDown, Samoa Joe's your new U.S. Champion because reasons.
for me, it's too little, too late. I think it, it,
Joe's
it
dead.
also reminds me of when they gave Nakamura the United States title after his whole series with AJ style. Like it just feels like a consolation prize at this point. It's like, well, we're not going to give you the WWE title, but hey, here's the United States title. Knock yourself out.
It gives them something to do, I guess. I don't know. The next match on the card. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze there for a sec. Is the triple threat tag team match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships.
Oh, are we not actually doing predictions of who wins? Because I asked even Morris earlier because even with the pre-show, I know Matt and I don't watch the pre-show, the kickoff show, but
I mean, I'll give a prediction anyway. I
You
think
can give, yeah.
Mysterio wins here, and then they have a big blow-off match at WrestleMania where Andre wins.
Andrade wins because they want to keep it going to Mania, so the heel has to win. So interference from Zelina. Andrade wins on a fuck finish.
I'm going Andrade as well. Morris picked Mysterio just because Morris is a 9-year-old that
What's that supposed to mean?
She's a child who loves baby faces. That's how it's supposed to be, damn it. Um, the next match
I mean,
is
me and Morris knows what's up. Mysterio, Team Mysterio.
the triple threat tag match of the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. The revival of Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson versus Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. What have they done to the Raw Tag Team Championships?
I don't know. And why are Ricochet and Aleister Black a team all of a sudden?
Who the fuck knows? I mean, honestly, the way I look at it, if Aleister Black and Ricochet don't come out of this match as the Raw Tag Team Championships, then the last 2 weeks of booking was stupid.
Yeah, I think that's what ends up happening. I think Ricochet and Black end up winning the titles.
And how much do you want to bet they have to put the titles on the line in the Dusty if they make the final?
I could see that happening.
Oh, this has
uh,
been so ass backwards. Yes, Mox?
Morris picked Ricochet and Black as well. Of course he would.
And what does his daddy think?
Who's your daddy? Clack, 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 clack. I think so. I think Ricochet and Black. There's so many. What the? But I think they leave Fastlane as the champion champions. AA. I think she's letting. I almost said Shadow, a stupid dog. I think she's letting Cassie out.
Shadow, stupid. There's no way that's the case.
Sir.
Um, we will move on and then get Allie's take when she gets back. Um, the next match on this list. Part of me wants to skip it because of what it means in the long term, but
Well, you said we're gonna conjunction this a little bit. So, how this match came about was Ricochet and Aleister Black had a one-on-one versus the Revival
right.
for the championship match, or for the championship on Raw, and lo and behold, Gable and Rude show up and end up attacking the Revival. So Revival win by DQ, and that's led us to this triple threat. But
I mean,
okay then.
like I said, if Black and Ricochet don't win these belts here and now, then why the hell did they go over the tag team champions the last 2 weeks?
They didn't go wrong this week. The Revival technically won by disqualification.
So that means they're winning.
Just
it,
saying.
yeah. They have done the revival so dirty.
They
So
really
dirty.
have. They really have. Like they. That's a different topic. But once they, put the titles on them, what they've done since has just been cruel and unusual punishment.
For them and the fans. Miss Allie, have you returned? That is a no. Um, I don't want to go to the next match on the list here because if I do, we will never get to the other matches. So I'm going to skip it.
What's the
And
match?
see, if I tell you, I won't be able to get you to
Yeah,
shut up.
But
because
what's the match?
I already know what card he's reading, so and I agree with him because we will not shut the fuck up about it. So, yeah, skip that. And
What's the match? What's the match?
If you can't figure it out by now, you don't deserve to know.
What's the match?
Um, I'll skip over
eat
to.
your sad burger. Eat your sad burger and hush.
I mean the grilled cheese, sir.
Ooh, now you have my attention.
First, you had his interest. Now you have it.
Oh God,
Um,
both of you.
we're the worst. What can you say? The next match is kind of a surprise, in all honesty, but I'm happy it's happening. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley are teaming up to take on the Reformed for the 3,252nd time Shield of
For
Dean
quite possibly the
Ambrose,
last time, the Shield will be reunited.
Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Um,
The Shield win this. Like,
yes,
there's no way that they're not.
Shield win and it's a squash.
Yeah.
And Roman gets the pin. What am I missing? Is Allie
Hey,
back?
Huh?
oh, there she is. We've done Adam. The first match since AA didn't get to give her predictions.
Who do
It's
you
going to be
got?
Alistair and Ricochet.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So she
She's
could
a,
hear us.
yeah, we're kind of loud. Um, we just started talking about the Shield versus Corbin, McIntyre, and Lashley.
There's only one way I got to go on this.
The Shield.
Hell yeah.
Over under on this match at 5 minutes.
Over.
Over, but barely.
I say under.
I mean, that perfectly describes Charlotte's character right now. Over, but just barely.
This is
Oh
why.
damn.
What's your prediction on the time of this match, Matt?
Um, I don't think it'll be a complete squash. I don't think it'll be like super quick or anything like that. Maybe 6, 7 minutes minimum.
I could see that, but I just, but like I said, this is the Shield going away. I mean, there's no real. This is, you know, what this is. This is a tune-up for Roman heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Um, the next
He's
match,
tuning up the band.
not that,
Sweet Chin music.
and I couldn't stop him. The next match on here is the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Mandy Rose taking on the champion Asuka.
Why is
And by
this
the way,
match?
Morris picked the Shield on the that last match.
Of course he does, because he's a smart boy.
Yeah, until you get to this match,
No, he didn't.
he motherfucking did,
What are you doing to that child?
dude. Because I even like, well, this afternoon, like I went through the card, like, hey, give me your predictions so I can, tell your predictions since he's gonna do the review with us, after Fastlane, and he straight up, Manny Rose, like, you're being sarcastic, right? You're joking. Surely you're joking. Don't call me Shirley.
Did he?
he,
Tell me he made that joke.
he did.
Good.
And
He
but he's like, yeah, he's 9, but he's like, I know it won't happen, but he's going with Mandy Rose here.
Matt,
Asuka.
and how happy are you that Mandy Rose is in this match?
Asuka.
Why is this match happening?
You tell me, brother.
I don't know.
Because
Is
they
that how
decided.
is that how weak the SmackDown Women's Division is? If you need
Well,
opponents, credible opponents for Asuka, I got 2 words for you: iconic.
Sonya
Oh
Deville.
dear God, he can't count.
That's the
Well, since
joke.
half the SmackDown Women's Division is on Raw, fighting
If he's,
for the Raw, like, I mean,
the two top contenders on SmackDown are feuding on Raw. Um, the Iconics are meaningless.
Oh, they
oh
mean everything.
damn, oh, those are fighting words.
They're
Not for
meaningless.
me, but oh,
They're meaningless. I'm not. I'm not saying
Matt, you
anything.
have the floor.
I'm not saying anything about their talent that I know they have. I'm not
You
saying
better
that
not.
that they aren't entertaining because they are entertaining in spots, but they're meaningless. They've been rendered absolutely meaningless. Sonya Deville apparently is an afterthought, and I guess they just want Naomi in catering. They had a 55-second match. You couldn't do more with with Naomi and Mandy Rose than 55 seconds.
Well, I mean, it was Naomi versus Mandy Rose. I think that pretty much just answers your own question.
Mandy Rose is at least a two-time. I mean, Naomi's is at least a two-time champion. Throw her in there with Asuka. At least it's more credible than this. But Asuka
Are you
wins.
are you saying you could last more than 55 seconds with Naomi or Mandy Rose?
Sir, sir.
Or Tori
I'm just
Wilson.
well, since you said Al Wilson so much, possibly. Like,
Ah,
No,
well.
no, no. No Al Wilson impersonation needed. No. No, God, please, no. Sir, no, I'm not. I'm lucky if I make it into the room.
right.
But this whole thing has been a mess. And thankfully, Oscar's okay, by the way. Took a
Yes,
nasty
she had it.
bump at the house show. But it was a
Which
miscommunication.
which is then the goddamn Twitter. Quit blaming accidents, like absolute accidents, and in this case, Mandy Rose, for what is obviously an accident, a miscommunication. Um, we're talking about wrestling here. Shit happens, and this isn't. I hate to use that term because I hate people saying, "No, it's not ballet. Shit happens." this was literally a miscommunication, um, and that's all it is. It's not that Mandy's unsafe or Asuka's unsafe or this was. That's all it was. It was an accident.
Hey, you know what they say, Cole? It ain't ballet.
Oh
Thank
God.
you, Taz. As I open the jar of cyanide.
Yeah.
Um,
Inch it closer. Inch it closer.
but I'm on Asuka too. I think they want to keep this belt on her till Mania, and then she's going to lose it at Mania. I think that's pretty clear. Um, and I don't know what happens with her after that. Um, God help her.
Icon is going to make that title iconic.
Oh sweet
Iconics are going
Lord.
to get lost on the way to the building. Yeah, that's what I thought. The next match
That
is
was the silence that deserved.
uh-huh.
Well, I was gonna make some kind of New Jersey, New York reference. Madison Square
I'm
Garden.
just messing with
Oh,
Adam.
whoa! Do that on your time, sir.
The next match is the tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. The Boston Hug Connection, Bayley and Sasha Banks, will defend their championships against fuck it, Nia Jax and Tamina.
Oh, were you
All
going
I'm
for?
going to say is that this feud would not be happening. Nia Jax and Tamina challenging for the titles would not be happening if the Iconics were champions.
Oh wow!
Am
Ladies
I
and gentlemen,
wrong? Am I wrong?
My tea's gone cold again. What?
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I think he tripped and hit his head tonight, everyone. Um, I I know this won't be a squash, but it should be because Nia Jax and Tamina have no business in this match. But Bailey and Sasha are going to win. The build to this has been. What was that even on Raw?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say what build? Like there's what build are you referring to, sir? Because
The one I'm building in my glass case of emotions.
is that glass case also filled with cyanide? Because
Piranhas, I'm building a self in aquarium.
Morris picked Boston Hug, and this was like the most emphatic he was about any of the matches that I ran down the card, and
Did he
he
call?
basically
Did he call Nia worst of all time again?
whooped,
Whooped. Yeah.
and that followed with I'm paraphrasing here. Um, I swear to God, if and they better not, and all kinds of like this is where he
That's
just gotten home from school and having the as first mentioned on the podcast the Emma thing, and so it wasn't like he gave his predictions, but he wasn't like going into detail much until we got here. And Daddy, I promise you, if Wout and Woder win,
out of the mouths of babes. But yeah, this. Why are we here again? What is what is supposed to be gained out of this match?
I'm thinking And this is literally off the cuff because as soon as you ask that question, like seriously, what are we getting here? Since Boss and Hug have gone SmackDown, NXT, I'm thinking not the Iconics, Matt. Somebody
Wait, what?
after the match. Oh, so that awoke him. Somebody comes and challenges them after the match.
I think that the rumors of the Fatal 4-Way at Mania are probably true. Where you have Sasha and Bailey defending against a team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, and a team from NXT. Um, so I think this is just a match to get these two out of the way.
Which
Because
that should have happened a long time ago.
no shit, but I'm just saying. And I think you will see that proposed match of Boston Hug, Riot Squad, Iconics, and Sky Pirates. Two heel teams, two face teams. It evens out. Think that's what they're going to go with. Because apparently Mania is going to be a 10-hour card. I don't understand. Show
Hey,
up
who
at
you got?
show up at noon, everybody.
Did we lose A again? Ambrose. Okay.
I,
And see, that's pretty much how when you bring up Naya and Tamina, like that's what happens. Crickets. Like,
Chirp,
uh,
chirp, chirp, chirp,
oh,
chirp, chirp.
do you
who do you
have?
have?
Yeah, do you have a
Boston
prediction?
Hug.
I'm just gonna go with Boston Hug just because I don't want to go with the crickets.
The crickets will take you away. Um, the next match is the singles match for the WWE Championship. But you know what? I'll skip. I won't do that one because since it's a big belt, I'll leave that for later on. The match I will talk about here is the rematch because remember, guys, rematch clauses weren't a thing. Well, apparently they are because we're getting a rematch for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Miz and Shane McMahon going 1-on-1 with the Usos.
But Miz and Shane earned it.
Yeah,
I just had to throw that in there.
I'm sad. Why are we
The,
doing this again?
Because they got nothing else better planned.
Shouldn't they?
They should. Just because they should doesn't mean they do.
Matt, just because I know it'll be entertaining, what is your prediction for this match?
Yeah. Usos win. I couldn't care less what happened after.
You mean you don't care if the Miz and Shane McMahon break up?
we all knew this a long time ago. Um, I'm gonna just have to change my name to how would it be pronounced?
Moxtradamus?
Moxtera. Moxtradamus works, but also Moxtero. Like instead of Meltzer, like we. But yeah, the Usos go over here, and this is where we get the that I predicted months ago: the Shane versus Vince or Shane versus Miz. Which,
I would
although now
actually
that
prefer Shane versus Vince.
I was about to say, like now that I said accidentally said it out loud, like, um, hold on, let me get to my sources real quick. Um, um, Morris, bless his heart, bless his heart,
He didn't.
he did.
Damn it! What are you doing to that boy?
He, dude, he had a rough day, and
That is no excuse to be picking the Miz and Shane McMahon. And he knows it.
I and I told him on the two predictions so far that he gave that were like way off. The Mandy one and now this one. I'm like, dude, well, he was watching, just got home. He's on his phone watching YouTube, trying to make nice with Emma and stuff. I'm like, dude, you're just picking random people at this point.
I'd have asked if he needed to go lay down.
The funny part is he was lying down on the couch when I was asking him.
Uh,
But yeah,
Usos.
yeah,
Usos.
Usos.
I mean, there's nothing really else to talk about here. I know we're probably going to get another retread match at Mania for the Usos, but I wish to God they'd do something different. But they don't have anyone different. It'll either be E and Xavier or the Bar or
See, this is what with the Raw tag match being, a three-way or four-way. How put Ricochet and Black in line for the SmackDown titles?
Ricochet and
Something.
Ricochet and Black don't need to be a tag team in the first place. But that's
Well,
neither here
true,
nor there. But it
true.
just
I'm not saying that they do, but like shit, we've how long now? Going on 2 years of Bar Usos
New Day.
New Day. Like that's been
Yeah, I'm a little tired of it. And that's nothing to say anything about the talent of the men in the ring.
no,
It's
just the
just,
story.
yeah.
Just the story. Like how far up can you get for something we've seen repeatedly,
Yes.
like constantly on live TV, on pay per view? Like you can only get so, and here lately even add Miz and Shane to that dynamic. Like we all know it's leading to the Miz and Shane breakup,
Hmm.
but I give us something different. And the SmackDown tag division,
You know what?
okay, yeah, they're putting on good to great matches, but it's the same shit.
Do a one off with
Sorry,
the War Raiders. Why not?
put heavy machinery in there.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, this is just all sorts of blah, and I'm just not here for it. Next, we have the match of the WWE Championship. The returning Kevin Owens going one on one with the new Daniel Bryan. In a match where Kofi Kingston was originally in, but they pulled him out for Kevin Owens because Vince doesn't think Kofi is good enough. Even though Kofi, in 72 hours, wrestled in the course of 72 hours, longer than that, I'm sorry. In the course of about 4 days, wrestled his ass off.
Who is?
What?
Oh, that's not somebody typing that. Matt's playing a game. Matt, what game are you
Star
playing?
Wars Battlefront 2.
I can tell.
What
Playing
is.
as a Bosk, one of the bounty hunters in 5.
Could someone please tell me what the hell is going on with this Daniel Bryan shit?
I don't even know.
And it's not even
They're
Daniel
trying to
Bryan
rip
shit.
off the Becky storyline. That's what they're doing here.
No, no, no. This actually is better than the Becky storyline.
True,
Okay,
but that's a low bar.
holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Matt admitted the Becky storyline It's the low bar.
Yeah, write that down, people.
Along with
It's
strut
Mark.
and
It's not
smile.
Becky's
Strut
fault.
and smile.
Nobody said it's Becky's fault, but you admitted it. Holy shit! It's March 6th, 10 Eastern,
Mm.
9 Central,
Well,
8
to be
Mountain.
fair, Becky's been in a lot of crappy storylines. It's not the first time. It probably won't be the last time.
Granted,
We'll unpack that here in a second.
this is where doing predictions and trying to do Raw and SmackDown reviews get kind of
Well,
blurred because we're missing a lot of stuff.
we are, but here's the thing: how much of Raw and SmackDown was really consequential?
Besides Dean, the Shield reunion,
Which the Shield
um,
reunion was,
Raw specifically. Go ahead.
yeah, that was a big deal. But like I said, we're doing this for the 35,000th time. I
Sir,
mean,
you used the exact numbers the first time, and
3,552nd.
no, that's not
Two-
the exact number you see,
3,252nd.
sir.
Sir.
Quit guessing.
Okay.
You're becoming the um.
The
No,
satin
I'm
of.
not gonna name drop anybody.
Yeah, Elias came out on Raw after they hit the. Well, Roman and Seth came out and said they wanted to bring the Shield
Becky
back
broke.
together.
Hello, anyway,
Can you
viewer,
hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Could everybody hear each other?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can hear
Okay.
Matt. I can hear Matt's dog.
Um, Roman and Seth wanted to bring the band back together. Dean came out and kind of hemmed and hawed
No,
a little bit.
Roman wanted to ask a favor.
Right.
Roman wanted to
Jesse, move.
one last time because, and he used the word or the phrase, the sentence, words, whatever, however you want to. Like, we don't know who's staying, who's going. Hint, hint. With Dean might not be here after WrestleMania. Wanted one more time, one last time.
Dean comes out. I know Dean comes out and hems and haws and gets hit in the back with a guitar.
And
And
surprise, it wasn't Jeff Jarrett.
ah, um,
Matt
and then
is really into his game.
yeah, this. I wish I'm happy to see them together because there was a chance we may never see it again. But and I'm a Shield fan. I like the Shield, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't like they've reunited the Shield several times at this point, and it just doesn't feel special anymore.
You have to take into consideration when they have done the reuniting, um, please don't let this be a curse. Because, like, somebody gets hurt and they're always replaced. And the one time they did, like, actually do shit, what pay per view was that? Somebody help me. Um,
It was
but it wasn't.
TLC, wasn't it?
Was it?
When Roman got that sick. When Roman got sick and he got replaced with Kurt Angle.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, but there was one time that they actually the actual Shield reformed. Um, shit. Because we went through Roman got sick and Seth was injured or Dean was injured.
It was
Uh,
Roman got sick, and then Dean got hurt, and then that's when he had the staph infection and
yeah.
almost died. Then Dean comes back. I think they tried to reform the Shield, and then really quickly afterwards when Roman's announcement hit.
I know people say like there's been so many. How many times for that previous match of the? Damn it! I almost went with the song. 25 million for. Damn it. Anyway, um,
Yes, the song from Rent. Yes, I know. Um,
there hasn't really been a proper, and this isn't even a proper
it's
Shield
not.
reunion. Yeah,
You're
like
Proper.
right.
it's
What you say, Hammer? Proper. Proper's not pop. If you call it that, then stop.
That's a thing that just happened.
you can only hear that right here. VWP Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
And for those of us, you who haven't turned it off yet, we thank you. Um,
Yes.
so, I mean, I'm
It,
happy for a Shield reunion. I'm happy to see them all there together. But you're right. This is not a proper reunion. And the fact this is only going to last what, a month before Dean's out the door.
if
Yeah.
true, and I even put this on Twitter watching Raw. Um, I don't even think the quote unquote reunion lasts this entire match.
No.
If Dean is leaving, I think we get Roman versus Dean at WrestleMania.
That's a thing that could happen.
I could see that happen as well.
But we kind of
I
went
could.
off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the greatest faction of all time, so
Oh, please don't.
I don't remember talking about the Iconics.
that's a you're an okay. A, you're an ass. B, that's a tag team, and C, no sir.
They can be whatever they want to be.
That's not a faction. That's a tag team.
They can be whatever they want to be.
If I ever hear you disrespect the horseman like that again, I want to stab you with a shiv.
Are you talking to me?
No, Matt.
Oh,
I wouldn't stab you with a shiv.
You
You won't
talking to
see
me?
me coming.
well, well.
You talking to me?
Oh, God,
Well,
no.
I'm the only one here, so you must be talking to me.
Oh God, grief, good grief.
Is there an off switch?
No.
Is he plugged into the wall? Can I?
No, he's got one of them Energizer batteries
I'm gonna
that
shoot that.
keeps going and going and going and going.
I'm gonna shoot that fucking
Never in
bunny.
my life have I want. Never in my life have I wanted to, for whatever random reason, even after they're closed, wanted to see a friend be called in at work than right now. Like, Matt, don't you have to go to work?
Well, I worked earlier today.
Like
Oh, God.
they need more.
Help.
Um, but Morse picked the shield. If I didn't already say that, and this was one of the other times like he went like um more to script than just picking people like I actually got paid attention to for a little bit. Um, because he's questioning still like most of us. The Corbin, Lashley,
McIntyre.
McIntyre. Um, question why they're a team, and also question why like they keep putting McIntyre in these situations.
Has anyone really explained why Baron Corbin's still wrestling in dress clothes?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Okay,
Well,
but but, but back to Brian and Owens for a second.
oh, sorry.
Um, the build to this has been weird. Hell, what build? Um, Owens is using the stunner all out of a sudden. At least it's finishing matches.
Sure.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
not
they're,
mid match.
yeah, at least it's finishing. It's a finisher. It's finished. It's beating people. Nothing worse than seeing someone use a finisher from the past and devalue it by not having it be the finish.
Not to be confused with woman barely escapes beats off shark with smiley shark face. Not to.
Are you happy?
No, sir, I'm sad. Are we gonna get into that for an hour?
We can.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but I mean, this is so weird because I can't believe they're going to want Owens to come back to a pay-per-view loss, but he's not winning the title.
Honestly, what I think
I,
happens, I could see maybe some kind of no contest with Kofi interfering. Because I think Kofi gets involved in some way, shape, or form.
no, no, no. And I agree with you on one aspect of that. It's not Kofi that interferes. It's Big E and Xavier.
I could see all three of them.
I, I could see that, but the better story is Big E and Xavier. Like, wait a minute, you're trying to screw my friend over?
Yeah, I could.
That way you keep him as a pure baby face where he wasn't involved, but you're not turning Big E and Xavier either. They're just and I don't mean this in a weird way or any, but they're standing up for what was right. I swear to Matt, if you play the song that,
Don't give him ideas.
but shut up.
When
But
it
I could
comes
see
crashing
them.
down and it hurts inside.
Ba
That,
ba
that,
ba
that,
ba
that,
ba
that,
ba ba. Ba.
But yeah, this is more than one angle. They have completely messed up on though since like, can we go back to when Fastlane was named Roadblock because that's what this pay per view is.
I call it the speed. This is one of those speed bumps on the road to WrestleMania, and I call it a
But
speed bump because if you hit it too fast,
You take out the undercarriage.
exactly, and I mean that in more
oh,
ways than one.
uh,
Um,
you get it. But
um
that's why I'm just complete call it a roadblock so there's no double,
Entendre.
stuff,
It's
entendre stuff.
but at least I know coming out of this, we're probably going to get Kofi at Mania for the title in some form and fashion or fashion. So I'll take solace in that. But I hope this isn't just a one-time thing for Owens. Let's keep let's make sure he has momentum coming out of this.
Yeah, and because Family Guy Owens is really good.
Yeah. Hopefully, Sami Zayn isn't too far behind.
Oh,
Um,
please, please
I'm not
don't
saying
have.
put him in a tag team. I'm just saying I hope he's coming back soon.
Oh, well, true, like, and I agree. But
Uh,
pl- please don't interject Sammy into this storyline, like
yeah,
at least until
if they did
after
that,
Mania.
just set it all on fire.
How do you fuck up two easy written stories? One you stumbled upon. Well, actually, kind of both you stumbled upon,
Yeah, these are both supposedly happy accidents, and here we are
and
wishing
just
I could. self-immolate.
I mean, you get something going, and like, it's literally somebody like on a legal ledger wrote, "How can we fuck it up? List the ways." And they people like listed the ways of how you can mess something up.
And they picked all of them.
Exactly. Like,
They literally picked all of them. But this match actually kind of ties into the next match.
oh Lord.
For the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Well, did they say it was for the championship?
Sir, no, it's for Becky wins.
Okay.
She gets inserted into a triple threat at Mania. If Charlotte wins, Becky's out. And with that said, Matt, you have the floor.
For
Okay, look, anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge Becky fan,
we couldn't tell.
but this storyline is ass.
Matt cussed on a podcast. Matt cussed on a podcast.
I think he did that for emphasis.
I did. Just this could have been the easiest storyline, like the easiest storyline, like with the Iconics. They were the easiest team to book, and they just can't do it. They just can't get out of their own way, in the words of U2.
Time out real quick. AA, did you give your predictions on Brian versus Kevin?
Oh, no.
Sorry.
I I I I don't have a preference.
You have to pick one.
That's actually the perfect metaphor for this fucking pay-per-view.
Well, whichever one ends up burning the belt, let's go with
Smoking the belt.
Owens. Let's go with
Smoking.
Owens.
Yeah, smoking the belt. I'm down for whatever.
I mean, I guess now we know when Matt Rose is going to call it up.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
are we sure Van Dam ain't making a comeback?
Oh, my. Oh, Matt,
this,
continue.
yeah, Matt, please continue.
I mean, like with the Iconics, this could have been such an easy thing to do, and they
Stop
just
trying.
can't.
Stop trying to
Ser-
describe the iconics.
seriously.
Iconics,
Seriously.
iconics.
Uh,
But I
It's
mean,
like you're
like
trying to make
they
fence.
just can't. Creative just cannot get out of its own way. And it's like, I get that you have to fill TV time and stuff like that, but this is not the way to do it. Like, it's so overcomplicated and so full of layers. Like, this storyline has more layers than Shrek's onion garden.
I want.
Just like Becky's injury, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, the fact that Becky has to win to even make it to WrestleMania is stupid, considering she won the Royal Rumble, which guarantees you a spot at WrestleMania.
Buried alive, you're getting your rant. Please continue, Matt.
Why is Charlotte in a no lose situation here? Like why does she have nothing to lose in this match? She's not the one who won the Royal Rumble. Just this storyline makes no sense at all. Ronda vacated the title, saying that she wanted Becky back in the match, and now I guess she doesn't care about that. Like, this whole storyline is so stupid. and so overcomplicated.
You
It's
forgot about the.
it's almost kind of admirable how badly they've screwed this up. It's actually kind of precious.
Yeah.
You forgot
How
about the.
bad can you fuck up a storyline? Oh, that,
It's like
challenge accepted.
it's like like
Accepted.
like in something like this, it's like you have to try in order to screw this up.
Oh, they tried and they succeeded.
Matt, you forgot about the McMahons.
What about them?
Can we go back to 2018? Back when I was excited for this, the first women's main event in WrestleMania. That was what we were all excited about. That was the dream. That was the pinnacle. And it was going to be one of the horsewomen, one of the women who said they wanted this.
That
It
was the American Dream, Daddy.
not now, Dusty. It it I I want to go back to when I cared because I don't care anymore. They have the McMahons involved. Oh, are we doing a Vince's senile storyline?
We are, and not just
Good.
with it
At least
within
that
this
means
story,
life is imitating art.
but we're doing but it's progressive, not just through this story, but through the Kofi story. Like that's my sources are telling me that that's what they're
Thank
doing.
you, Meltzer. It
Moxer, sir, Moxer, get my name right.
Nostradamus. Uh, it they're doing an injury angle, which Becky ain't even selling the fucking legs, so what's it matter? Um,
Because she knows how dumb it is. Or, or I could see them revealing her to faking an injury in order to get into Charlotte and Yolanda's heads.
that would make sense if that was the only thing they were doing. But they're doing a McMahon angle, a Charlotte angle, a Ronda angle, an injury angle, the Rumble angle. They have put seven. There are words I want to yell that will get me kicked off the internet.
Um, Adam, you have the
Yes.
floor.
What the fuck are we doing here? I would I would have cared more. I would I would be much more happy if they were sitting around that creative room with their dicks in their hands, trying to figure out what they were trying to do, rather than actually putting this shit pen to paper.
Just go
First,
to
they'd have to figure out.
blueshoes.com.
What was that, Mox?
First, they'd have to figure out they had dicks, but that's
They it was so simple. Becky snapped, got fed up with the shit, became a babyface, and became this badass, and we were supposed to take this badass into Mania to fight one of the most recognizable faces in modern pro sports. That was the draw.
only a face a mother could love, by the way.
Well, well, if you know her life story, maybe not even her mother. Um,
Yeah, that was kind of a
yeah,
horrible joke.
I,
Horrible joke.
I'm a
Like,
horrible person.
yes, sir, you rubbed off on me. Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's what she said.
You earned that one, buddy. It. I don't even know where to really attack this thing. because it literally is. There are layers to this. There are layers to this dumb fuckery. I don't understand. I want to understand, but I can't. I can't do that amount of drugs and still live. It it's
Well, try.
it's just the worst. By the way, let's actually get to one of the reasons why this thing has gone downhill so fast. Get Ronda Rousey off my television today. I am
Please.
I am done with this. If she doesn't want to fucking be here, she can take her ball and go the fuck home. You don't need the money, Rhonda? Then
Yeah.
why don't you create 3 T-shirts?
Which are three of the.
Worst
I mean,
goddamn
my God,
T-shirts ever.
Rhonda, do it the old-fashioned way. Do it on ProWrestlingTees.com.
That wasn't a plug. We're not getting paid. Um.
Well, we might. They follow us.
Oh, in that case, guys, if you're listening, I have never. This fourth wall breaking is stupid. I thought we were supposed to at least to pretend kayfabe was still around.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I know that kayfabe is dead. It's been dead for a long time. But there's also something called suspension of disbelief. And when you have Ronda just straight up burying Becky's finisher, regardless of whether it's real stage, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't add anything to it.
It
Nobody benefits from it.
you're right. I'll take it a step further. Not only does it not add anything to shit, it actually takes away
Yes.
from things. It
By the
doesn't
way,
add anything. It takes away, and you never want to take away.
the whole
By the way,
point
what?
is, by the so many thoughts, so many thoughts. Rhonda, you're going to be in that finisher at Mania.
Hopefully.
I mean, if there's a
Because
just and loving deity in this
the
world,
worst thing they could do is have Charlotte take the finish.
I got
Yeah, the
news for
worst
you,
thing they
buddy.
could do is have Becky or Charlotte, whoever wins, is do the finish on each other. The worst thing they could do is have that outcome. The best thing they can do is have Ronda
Rhonda, better.
tap out or lose.
what what is her deal? Can she just physically, psychologically not handle this? I mean, is that what it is?
Uh, I'm beginning to think so. Like she wasn't prepared for.
She wasn't prepared. Period.
Yeah,
And to those of you who were sitting there talking about like, I like this Rhonda. This is okay. I don't see what the big deal is. If you don't understand what Rhonda was tweeting the other day is such a big deal,
excuse
then
me.
you're not gonna get it. And it would be a waste of my time to explain to you why this is so fucking stupid. Why are you bringing up scripts? Why are you bringing up people to shoot names? You want to bring up shooting names in the way she did, fine. You're going to have a subpoena in your mailbox the next day because I'm suing you for menacing. you want to be real, let's be real.
And that ties back into Triple H's promo on Raw. Like, oh, it's more off the rails than we are.
Yeah, that promo. What, Hunter? You okay? Why are you yelling?
Like at this point, I'm just expecting Ronda to just come out to the ring one day and says, "What's the matter, Becky? You don't want to come out here? You don't know the script? You don't know the storyline?"
I hope Russo burns in hell.
Hey, that's a friend
Now,
of ours.
bro, I swear to God, this is going to get over.
Bro,
Not enough bros.
you have to have a lot more bros in that one.
But that's what this is. This is full Russo. Becky called it for what it is. The,
And
uh,
see, and this is where excuse my mind for a second because I literally have had two at once. I just um this is where Ronda doesn't get the wrestling business. Like she just because you can say like, oh, it's kayfabe or they've allowed this or Ronda Rousey as a person just doesn't take to negativity well, like at all.
I mean, yeah, they moved her over to heel on Raw, but it's 3 months too late. She should have, really, in all honesty, she should have never been a smiling babyface.
I was gonna use the example of when Batista came back a couple years ago, and he was, you know, he is on record saying he wanted to come back as heel, and they made him a baby face.
Duct tape, are you serious?
Oh, good grief! But she isn't, and let's be real. Um, I don't care if you're wrestling for WWE in front of thousands and watching by millions and millions, or if you're at a bingo hall and wrestling in front of 20 people, like you have to take the reaction, the criticism, you don't take it to heart. Like you
Could
and
you
Ronda's have
imagine?
go ahead.
Could you imagine Ronda trying to get over with that Philly crowd in '94 at an ECW show?
And no, they would have shit all over like that. They would have.
Philly might still shit on her.
I mean, more than what they just did. But
Yeah.
why are we wearing leggings? And this is just a personal gripe. And I get reasons, but why are we wearing like okay, we're not in our shorts. Why are we wearing leggings and still pulling the damn things down, like in between spots? Like, what's happening there?
Well,
They're wearing leggings about a size too small.
yeah.
Which is
Uh,
sometimes enjoyable to see.
I didn't want to be the guy to say it.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm two at a time. Like you have open mics, like, but leggings, not shorts, not like oh my butt cheeks hanging out, but and she's still.
Everything about Ronda's presentation is just bad. It's just bad.
I'll put it this way, and you can at me at wherever you can find me. Um, Rhonda's and I want to phrase this properly. Rhonda's not necessarily horrible at this wrestling thing. Obviously, when it's like rehearsed and scripted so much, like she's not the worst I've ever seen, but at the same time, she doesn't belong, if that makes sense.
She should have done a loop in NXT. And I'll defend and I'll say that from now till Kingdom Come. I know she's a megastar, but she needed something because she is not personally well adjusted enough to handle what everything that comes with this business. She really wasn't handling it all that well in MMA. She was just lucky she was able to walk into a cage and beat people in 30 seconds. But she was never a talker. She was a doer. But her doing in this case has been bad because wrestling is so much more. And I'm not saying this as to knock it, but there are layers to professional wrestling that just aren't there in MMA.
I'll use metal mats. There's Shrek's onion layers to wrestling that isn't just in the ring, and even in the ring to me she excuse me, it just Ronda's a hard pass. Like, nope.
And I know
Just my
people.
opinion. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope.
And I know people want to bag on Charlotte for being added to this match. But someone brought up a good point. Knowing everything we know now, could you imagine Ronda and Becky trying to have a one-on-one match?
This is why, and I'm gonna clap like I'm doing emoji between every word clap. This is why before he wants to be Mox Meltzer, before he quote unquote broke the news, I said it was going to be a triple threat at Mania because Ronda can't do it. Ronda versus Becky was not going to happen. Not because of Becky, but because of Ronda. If you're going to put the first ever WrestleMania women's main event, it's not going to be Ronda versus Becky. It's not going to be Ronda versus anyone one on one. It's go you're going to have to elevate it somehow, and the best way you do it is make it a triple threat where Ronda's weaknesses, and she has a ton of them, are overshadowed by other things that are happening in the match.
Charlotte's there to bump her ass off. And that's what she's going to have to do.
And
Be-
made no bones about, like, I don't like Charlotte either. Pretty much kayfabe. Like, I appreciate some things she does, but she's not. Um, that might be a different discussion, but out of the WWE Four Horsewomen, Charlotte's not on the top of my list. So this was always going to be a triple threat if it was going to main event WrestleMania, and that's not a dig on Becky, that's there's no way Ronda's gonna pull that off.
They,
Well, I think they made a mistake doing a knee injury with Becky. They
oh,
probably
that
should
Well,
have
shouldn't
done
of
a
happen.
course,
back injury because Becky was going to have to carry her.
the knee injury worked.
Oh, oh,
You're an ass, but you're kind of touching on the point of how this all blew up. We're still doing the knee injury show up on a crutch stuff.
and she's not selling the injury. So why are we doing it? So Becky can go all Hank Aaron with a crutch?
Sir.
What? Was that reference a little too old for some of the listeners?
I'm sure it's too old for a lot of the listeners, but I got it. But
And look, I like Becky, but she's also part of the blame here too. Some of the Twitter stuff. She
Is
should have
great.
walked. She should have walked away a long time ago. Because
she shouldn't have engaged to begin with, not to the degree she did.
Uh, I
she,
disagree, honestly.
Rhonda, when the second she realized Rhonda was going to act like that, she should have walked away.
Yeah,
Because there's no one wins in that. And as fun as it is to see Becky murder people on Twitter, there was no winning that. Because Rhonda was shoot pissed and she was going to say anything and everything she could to get her point across. And she
can I be
did.
honest for a second?
Honesty is always welcome.
And um, I'm doing this podcast with three of my best friends, and I don't mean to single him out because he is like one of the biggest Becky fans. Since November of last year, yeah, she gets some barbs in. Yeah, there's oh shit, she went there kind of stuff. Becky's Twitter game, social media game, is portrayed well outside of what it actually is.
Becky's a troll, you know. I mean, if we're gonna call a spade, Becky's a troll,
Yeah, and basically,
and that's
like I mean,
not a shot at Becky.
and that's definitely not a shot at Matt, since he's. But it's pretty much. Is she better at the social media stuff than Rhonda?
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Like you don't get. Speaking of low bars from earlier in the episode, like yeah, that's a. Is she better? Absolutely. But is she kind of repetitive and unnecessary sometimes?
Nope.
Absolutely.
Like, here's the thing. Remember when Becky tweeted that stuff about Mickey James, and
Yes.
everyone did the oh shit? That probably should have been a message. You might want to walk away because the walking the line like that eventually burns you, and I think it burned her here
Did you
because
just use a
I'll
walk the
walk
line
the
Johnny
line.
Cash the man reference?
I did,
Noise.
I did, I did that. Um.
Accidentally, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, no, I'm nowhere am I near that clever. Um. It's when somebody could eventually responds to you and says, Rebecca Quinn, I don't care what the script says, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. We've reached DEFCON 1.
Yeah. Pull back.
That
Pull back.
pull back. Pull up, you're getting too close to the ground.
Oh, I meant to say pull up, but again, two at a time, sir. Two at a time.
I know. It
Pull up. Pull up.
because there's no coming back from that. For Ronda or Becky. Because hell, Becky didn't even respond to her till the next day. With her, are you okay? You know, you seemed a little.
Hmm.
She even still tried to egg her on.
Yes.
And if at that point, if I was running the company at that point after all that went down, I would have pulled Becky and Ronda into Stanford up to Titan Towers and said, "You're off the road to Mania."
But how is that Becky's fault? I think Ronda's more at fault for that.
I agree, Ronda's more at fault, but guess what?
Yeah. Uh,
It takes two to tango. Guess
But Becky was at least trying to bring her back on track.
Becky should have realized Ronda had no interest in being on track to begin with.
yeah. Kind of like our podcast. Like there wasn't a
There were
track
no
to.
rails. There were
Yeah.
nothing. Becky, first of all, if they pulled them off the road now and instead just try to do a build toward Mania, they'd have been much better served instead of having this match at Fastlane. But there has to be consequences here for what we saw because it hurt everybody. It hurt this feud. It hurt Ronda. It hurt Becky. Charlotte's getting shrapnel from this because it's so hot.
And I hate saying this. Oh, I loathe saying this. I don't use the word hate often, and well, I Charlotte did the best thing in this whole social media, Twitter. Like I'll work on my Twitter game after WrestleMania
Because I'm
while she's in Mexico, wearing Los Hombres mat like that. That was just
she's she's getting a special
uh,
initiation into Los Ingobernables.
and that was just a perfect response from Charlotte.
She knew she had to stay away. So we could have
But seriously,
honestly.
somebody needs to pull. I'm sorry, excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Obviously, I didn't give up smoking for Lent, but that's okay.
What were you going to say there, bud?
You asking me or Matt?
You.
I, I like somebody somewhere should have stepped in, like you said earlier. Like, um, I hate being like where people use terms and stuff that are all of a sudden cool and hip and whatever.
Because
Like,
you're not that.
obviously, asshole. But like if you're trying to interject something into a feud, like this ain't it, Chief. Like
Yeah.
you're just making it worse.
They've missed the mark here. Totally. But I guess that means we kind of have to go to our predictions.
Didn't we already
Becky.
do that? Oh, for this match.
Yeah, for this.
Oh,
I
Can't.
don't
Matt.
know. I
Well,
really don't know.
I love how Matt has to think about. Matt, you know who you think's gonna win.
I mean, I want Becky to win, but I don't think it's happening because I don't think they're going to have her go into Mania as a champion. I think
It's not
I
for
think
the
they're
championship.
I
It's
think
just
either Ronda interferes and costs Becky the match. Ronda's getting involved some way. It'll
it's
either be
not
a
for the
no
championship.
contest or Ronda interferes and costs Becky the match.
It's not for the championship. It's if Becky wins, she gets put in a triple threat at Mania. If Becky loses,
Oh,
she's out. It's
I
not
could
for
have
the
sworn it was for
championship,
the title.
Yeah,
which
I
is
was
a
thinking this.
which
I
is why, guys, whoever's listening to us, this is how fucked up this has been.
yeah.
That because it at first was supposed to be for the vacated title, and now Ronda, looking like Ma'am from GameStop, who should be a sponsor of ours soon, went berserk and reclaimed her title. Now Charlotte versus Becky is, if Becky wins, it's going to be a triple threat at Mania. If Becky loses, it's going to be a one-on-one versus Charlotte and Ronda. It's not for the title anymore. See how much you fucked up WWE, that your one of your biggest fans of Becky doesn't even realize that this isn't for the title anymore.
I just want this to be over.
Yes, please end it. Please.
I mean, I know I have another month of this dreck ahead of me, but I just want it to be over.
Yeah.
Allie, who do you got in this shit show?
I'm going to be contrarian and go with Becky.
Becky's winning because they need the time to get the triple threat built, I suppose.
Yeah, I think Becky wins here as well.
But man, could you imagine if Charlotte does win?
Oh, all the salty tears.
Someone might get shot. I don't know who, but someone's getting shot.
It's not funny to laugh at somebody getting shot, but yeah, they're, and not just like keyboard warriors on Twitter. Like, yeah,
And look, I've been to Cleveland a few times. It really is a fun place. But after 11 o'clock in some areas of that city, if Charlotte wins, man, it ain't good. Oh,
speaking of which, Matt, we need to know your whereabouts between now and Sunday. Just have
Why?
make sure you have an alibi. Make sure you have an
have an
alibi.
alibi.
Yes.
uh, oh, someone's gonna get it.
Morris, his prediction was Becky.
He's back on the Becky train. Yes.
For now.
Not so much that, just more so. It's not so much a fandom thing. Just
He's a
I would,
logical individual.
yeah. He's a 9-year-old smart. Like, Daddy, it's gonna be a triple threat. Like we, and this is since it was lower down on the card. I didn't get much detail as to why, but Becky wins here. Triple threat at Mania. Oh God, I can't. I just now thought about what's his Mania prediction is going to be. That's going to be fun.
You're gonna have to sit down and you're gonna need at least an hour for him to go over the entire Mania card. Because this thing's gonna be a shoot 10 hours. Show up at noon. This fucker's gonna be long. Oh.
BA brought up like I want Brock to defend the championship on the pre-show. Like, well, it's in New York, New Jersey. He has time to be on the pre-show and be home back in Canada, and before the show even ends.
I can't believe we're sitting here on March 6th, not really knowing what's gonna happen at Mania. Not a thing. This has been the worst in my time watching this company. This has been the worst build to WrestleMania I can ever remember. And I don't
and
think it's
and that
close.
and this is where having two pay-per-views between Rumble and WrestleMania hurts. I get why and stuff, but this is where that and the love you and you're a friend of ours, Russo, but this is like been pretty much 99 WCW Russo booking. Like what the why? Like it's been overbooked.
There have been swerves and unswerves and twists, and this is a bad movie. With three characters I don't care about it anymore.
It's like and this might be a bad example, but there's some literally just came into my head. It's like you're thinking you're watching Scream, like you put the movie Scream into the DVD player or Blu-ray player for all you rich people. Sir,
It's not that expensive.
sir.
Okay.
But you end up getting shit. What's the knockoff of Scream?
Scary movie.
Scary movie. It's like you're expecting, and neither one are really particularly good, but it's like you're expecting, your friends have hyped this up, and like, oh, Scream, let's see what this is about, and you get Scary Movie. Like, what the? Without even the funny parts of Scary Movie.
No, it. This is supposed to be the biggest event of the year, WrestleMania. And we were going into the biggest event of the year, the most excited I've been in a minute, because we were going to get Becky Lynch in the main event of WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey. And I know I said earlier that that's probably not a singles match that's going to end up well, but that's still the ticket.
Somebody's
And
got to carry that match, and it's not damn sure not Ronda Rousey.
but we are now a month out. I'm not getting what I thought I was going to get. And not only am I not getting what I thought I was going to get, someone has spit in my meal. That's
You
what this
sound like
feels
Mel.
like.
You sound like Mel from GameStop.
It's I'm just I'm over it. I'm over all of it. I want this thing to be over and done with now. Can we please move on? Because there's nothing left. I mean, we're going to have 4 more. We'll have 4 more weeks of this bullshit. 4 more weeks.
Yep.
I didn't sign
Enjoy
up
the
for.
ride.
I didn't sign up for Chinese water torture, but here I am. Let me
Um,
off. Let me off the fucking ride.
AA, who do
Hmm?
you have for the
I think.
Ronda Becky
I think.
that,
You mean Charlotte Becky?
or Charlotte Becky?
I said Becky.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Quick note: um, New Japan Pro Wrestling had their anniversary show last night. Fantastic card show. Um, since if you listen to the very first of the podcast, took a nap, which is why we didn't have a podcast last night. I stayed up and watched the show. Fantastic card. A couple of usual letdowns because New Japan just. I know people shit on WWE for these multi-man matches, and that's basically what New Japan is. across the board. But if they release it on YouTube or anything, Jushin Liger versus Ishimori, that match was stellar. Like
Don't let
that's
anyone tell you Liger doesn't still have something in the tank.
it, and I'm how
I
how
don't know.
the heck
That man is 50 plus years old.
how the hell and that was stole the show. Like that was match of the night.
By the way, they announced while we were on the podcast. I don't know if they announced it beforehand or during the show, and they were. I was just getting the residual. But while we were talking, I saw the ad in at the Supercards show in Madison Square Garden. Ishimori will be defending the
Against
belt
Dragon Lee.
against Dragon Lee.
Sir, that happened during the show.
Okay,
After Ishimori beat Dragon Lee, or after, damn it, now you have me confused. Um, After
Liger.
Ishimori won against Liger, Dragon Lee came out and challenged Bone Soldier Ishimori to Madison Square Garden,
Whew,
and Ishimori accepted. And so
that's making me feel things.
I tell you what, the only I don't even want to call it a downside because I'm. This is one of those things where how do I word this? Well, um, Takahashi didn't show up, but I fully expect him to show up at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
Whoever
that's where he's
wins.
going to be. They're going to have him have his return in the garden. Uh, on some level. And you know he might get involved in that match, considering his history with Dragon Lee.
Yes, that's whoever wins. The Dragon Lee history writes itself. Him versus
Ishimori.
should I? Yeah, Ishimori. I was about to say shit. I drank two at a time, but too much. But Ishimori, yeah, they both like write themselves. But New Japan's anniversary show last night, which I since I did nap earlier in the night, which made me miss BWP last night. Uh, Good show, recommended,
I know you were cheering on your favorite.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, if you say if it does it start with an S,
You damn right it does.
sir, I loathe you.
I know. You weren't saying that earlier.
Well, because there was pictures involved, but
I
um,
wish you didn't say that.
what's wrong with pictures of the New Japan show? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Um, I think they did a 10 bell salute for Bundy at the show. So
They did.
I appreciated seeing that. They're on their own little road here. By the way, are you going to the G1 Mox? Since the first two nights are going to be in Dallas.
Yeah, I'm planning on it. Obviously, I'm not going to the MSG show, but I'm planning on going to the last couple of days. Just to be honest, have been kind of a clusterfuck. But yeah, I plan on going to the Dallas shows. I have my
That's going to be.
have my tickets for night one already, but getting there is you guys know me.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
And just as we wrap up here, because I'm going to We've been at this for a little while. I'm ready to just get up and take a little stroll. Uh, I'm tired.
You can move.
Why do you
Look
do
at
this
you.
to
You
me?
being able to read and write and move.
It's like you
Look
think
at
I.
you
It's like you think I'm an
making.
invalid.
Look at you making progress.
Oh, take me now. Um, I want to send some good thoughts and wishes out to Miss Alicia Fox. The news broke earlier this week regarding the firing of one Arn Anderson had to do with the the mindset and the physical state of one Alicia Fox going into a house show this past week, or at least a couple weeks ago, at the very least, where Miss Fox showed up intoxicated. And Arn Anderson, the agent for her match, um, allowed her to compete anyway, which is a huge problem.
Yes,
Um, that said, that is absolutely a fireable offense. I want to make that clear. But so is showing up to work drunk in any profession. Uh, the word is she's been offered rehab, but we do not know whether or not she's accepted. Apparently, she's disappeared, and we do not know what her mindset is. So I want to wish her all the best in whatever she's going through.
absolutely.
But let's be clear here. She should not be in a ring until she is 100% clear. There was a time in this business where you could drink and go out and wrestle a match.
And can we please quit with the Jimmy and Jay Usos? They were both pulled over. And Jeff Hardy. There's a difference
Yeah.
per their wellness policy. Like showing up 12 hours before you perform and doing your thing on your time are two different things.
And let's be clear, people do bring up the Jeff Hardy incident in TNA, which never should have happened. But
True. Like I'm not disputing that.
but let's also not forget the
But
TNA
Jeff,
wasn't famous for having a wellness policy.
but I'm referring more to the Jeff Hardy just a year ago or so, um,
Yeah.
being with the DUI. And like there's a difference between being caught on your own time.
Being caught on company time.
Yeah, like there's but
It's sad that a longtime road agent, not just road agent, I mean, my God, Arn Anderson, he's one of the reasons why I'm a wrestling fan. And I know that's the same for many other people. But
yes,
that's a fireable offense. There's no excuse. So but my thoughts are out there with Alicia. I hope she's fine, and I hope she gets the help she apparently needs because that's a no-no. That's a no-no in any walk of life.
yeah, that's in any job you have, you shouldn't do that.
Any final thoughts, concerns, points anybody wants to make? Anything they'd like to get off their chest? Going once,
Hey,
going twice.
are we playing Monopoly all of a sudden? Hey, Matt,
So
anybody? Did we lose
now,
both of them?
now I'm
No,
concerned.
we're here.
Now I'm concerned. Oh, at least through there, Allie. Well, Miss Allie, I think Lord knows we probably left stuff on the table, but it's 11 o'clock. We've been doing this since about 8. I think we might want to walk away now.
Yep.
Take us out.
Like creative should have when the whole Becky Ronda stuff, but
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
neither here nor
Yep.
there.
hmm Allie, please take us away.
Take us away, floating away, Calgon bath.
Oh my God, it was
Oh
an ad.
wow, wow.
I don't want to
What?
say you dated yourself there a bit, Allie, but you did.
Good for me. Okay, Adam, where can they find you?
You can find me at PWFan01 on Twitter with the Ohio State logo as the avatar sign. Well, the picture thing. I don't know what it is. Leave me alone. If you guys want to come by and chat about anything, I will be more than happy to for any of my horrendous hot takes tonight.
How about you, Matt?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at MelMet15, also here on K-Side Seats, I'm in the daily and the nightly. And hopefully this Friday, we have set the date. Hopefully this Friday we will finally be able to do a new episode of Ruthless Aggression Era Podcast. Me and Five will be talking about SummerSlam 2004. So that should be pretty fun. So hopefully this Friday we'll be able to get a new Ruthless Aggression Era podcast out.
That was a good show, if I remember.
Honestly, it was. It was a pretty good show, really. Like both
Hence,
World matches weren't great, but everything else was pretty good.
hence why I wasn't invited.
And where can they
Well, I got
find you,
plans for
Mox?
you. I got plans for you, and they don't even involve the Intercontinental Championship. Tune in next time. Same Stone Cold time, same Stone Cold channel.
It's
I'm
like
trying.
it doesn't have an off button.
I'm trying to figure out what I've done to Matt to make him do this shit to me.
Uh, Mox, where can they find you?
Um,
Not literally.
uh, um, oh, not literally.
Yeah.
Prince Moxley Lopez on the KSI Seats Daily Nightly. Um, Fireman 6809 on Twitter. Um, Mox underscore C on Twitch. Um,
BWP.
or yeah, see, hey, take it from here.
You can
They have
find.
fried.
He
They have
gave up on his own plug.
yes. Well, you and Matt have fried my brains for
Oh, don't
like I have
blame it on
multiple.
us.
No, it's you guys.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Lady Rashana. You can sometimes find me lurking in the daily at Ambrose Alley. You can find me on Twitch at Violent
Yeah.
Wrestling Podcast with no G. And that wraps another episode of Violent Wrestling Podcast, the show that has no rails, so we can't go off the rails.
Matt's chair has to get the final word.
Of course. Okay. Thanks again for joining us, everybody.
Good night,
Peace.
everybody.